Well, hello everyone. It is time for eSeniors Championships. And hold on, I got something talking in my window here. Get rid of the something. There we go. No, there. Only one voice. So eSeniors GT3 World Championships Porsche Cup today at Spa-Francorchamps and in Belgium. And remember, sim racing is a sport, so that makes us athletes. Even though we are over 50 years old, we are still sim racing athletes. And if anybody is on the stream, please give me a little note. Let me change over to that. Okay, yeah, give me a little note as to volumes. I think I should be okay today. Let's just go straight to the standings because we're getting close to qualification times. So standings, a little bit of a change since last week. Derek Bird and Chris Moses have switched. So Merche is still in first place by not very much, 210 points. Derek Bird's in second with 191. But Chris was in second last week. He's now in third due to his finish last week in ninth. Luckily, that one, actually the ninth place finish got knocked off. So he ended up with a 5. I guess the 5 came back in. So anyway, Chris is only 3 points behind second place with 189. Steve Young has climbed quite a bit in the standings with 173 in fourth place. And Sylvain Dessard also stays in fifth place and improved himself a little bit with 157. So that is our standings today. And I've taken a look to see who is actually racing today. We'll do that in a second because the guys are just coming out for qualification. So let me get that going right now. I'll set things up a little bit better before I switch over for you guys. There we go. How are the volumes? Who's up there? Stan. Sounds good. All right. I got a little bit of a screen in front of me this week, so you won't see the popping sound too much. Looks pretty good on my audio mixer also. Oops, I don't have race. There we go. Now we have some race volume. Tell me how that sounds. I'll put it also on the cockpit for a second just to see if that does, make sure that doesn't drown out my wonderful voice. So yeah, Spa, classic track as we all know. And classic track, great track, an F1 track, interesting track for Cup cars. A lot of throttle. Let me get away from here. We'll go to Helicam. A lot of, just going to find out who's out there first. 36, number 36, number 36. That is Chris Moses as usual. And that's who we are watching. So yes, a classic track for a Cup car. It's crucial to watch out for your throttle coming out of some of these high-speed corners. Hopefully we won't see too many spinorama moves there. So this is Chris Moses coming up to on his outlap, coming up to the start-finish line. He'll be setting the first time. And as usual, Derek Bird is right behind him. While I have the chance, let's give our great supporters a little bit of a plug. Let's start with Crown Castle for a change. Fine makers of event products and Christmas decor, Wizard Wands, and that is our friend Stephen Buckley and his wife that put that together. It looks like Moses is just going over. Yes, next is Sim3D. Great makers of sim racing products, especially their rumble motor, a lot of pedal rumble motor. A lot of people have that product on their rigs. And last but not least, Syndeo, telecom brokers of specialized in cloud hosted voice over internet protocol phone systems for business, and I believe they also do some security stuff. So yeah, they're based out of Quebec, I believe. So give them a call if your business needs some sort of telecom work. All right, so this will be laps qualification, our first qualification laps. Let's see who we got out there. We have everybody. Merche is there, Moses, Bird, Sylvain, and Mr. Young. Yes, I got the top 5 out there today, so it's going to be a fine race. As usual, a 50-minute race with a mandatory pit stop for tires and fuel. All right, so let's. It doesn't look like everybody got a valid lap in there. Screens are a little. That screen tower should show the valid lap. Oh, this is the first valid lap. What am I saying? This is the first valid lap. Where is Chris? He is coming around the last few corners. It looks like I've got everything hunky-dory on the screen. Everybody loves Spa. We always include Spa in the season. Great track. Lots of pictures on the internet these days of what Spa used to look like, especially the famous Radion Eau Rouge and forget the last part of that track. I just realized today when I'm watching when I was watching the stream that that complex, each of that complex going up the hill has a different name for the. Watch it today, right now when we're going through here. It has a different name for the 3 corners that you're basically going through. So here comes Chris setting his first lap, followed by Bird very closely. Let's just see what we get for 2:22.175. We're going to see some 21s, I'm pretty sure. Derek is not far behind. I can't really read my screen. Let me take a look and see if I can get that bigger so I can see it. Yeah, he's behind by a whole second, but that's not going to last. That's not going to last. Krister, way up there. He just said on the stream a second ago he had his. Let's give Krister a little bit of screen time here. Krister just said he is personal best a few minutes ago on the track. So that's nice to see. Merche just put in the fastest lap. I told you we were going to get 221s. There's the one there, 221.565. Gee, I really have a hard time reading that. Oh, I guess I could read it on this other screen here. There we go, 221.65. And I love the fact that you can all see how they're doing relative to their best lap, so that I don't have to keep yelling that, keeping that a big secret. Not too much commentary on it. We have 3 people watching. That's including me, though. 2 people watching. Stan Washer, welcome to the stream. Don't recognize your name with racing. If you're in eSeniors, hey, get on the track with us. We're a lot of fun. Yes, sir. We are a lot of fun. Don't worry about your times. The more the merrier. We'll use you as cannon fodder if your times are slow. But yeah, it's a lot more fun racing. Whoa! Krister just went off. All right, let's just take a look here. Let's go to Bird. He's having a bit better lap. Not quite good enough to bring him up. Who's that next to him? He's got to up a second. Sylvain Dessard is up a second on his time. Where is he? Where is he? He's getting close to the end of his lap. And gaining more, 1.2. That should get him into, maybe even challenge Bird for 3rd place on the podium. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. Here he comes around the last corner. Patrick Larson just jumped up one, but let's just see what Derek does here. Or Sylvain. Sylvain into 4th. All right. Still got almost a half a second to get on Bird. And Bird is getting a better lap. Just trying to set myself up nicely here for my screens. Bird, what are we watching here? Bird up 0.3 of a second. He's early in his lap, however. Thomas Rainier has got a great lap going. And he is approaching. He's going to jump up a little bit. 7th place. My buddy Bekavik is in 8th. Looks like Merche is putting a little bit more into his lap. Where is he in his lap? Well, he's got a long way to go yet. Oh, wait. No. Merche's got a long way to go yet. Chris Moses has got 0.3 of a second. He is halfway through his lap. He's got no traffic in front of him. Let's just see how he does. Chris Moses, our league leader. No, he's not. No, Chris is in third. What am I saying? Merche is in the lead. So he is up by, was up by a half a second there. What is that going to do for him? That is going to challenge for the podium. So let's just watch this bit carefully. He went wide there. Oh, if that's going to invalidate his lap. Looks like it does. It looks like it went black there. So that invalidated his lap. Now Derek Bird, he's up 4/10. That will not quite get him into second, I don't think. And he's coming around in the last few corners to Blanchimont. Turn number 17 into the final chicane. Maintaining, actually gained a little bit more. That is going to get him into second place, I believe. I believe my mathematics are correct. Yes, sir. Into second. No, it didn't. Wow. Very close, however. 5 100ths of a second-ish. Wow, very good. Merche's off. Let's see here. Steve Young's putting in a good lap, isn't he? Let's see. Just starting his lap, however. But he had a good exit from the last corner there. The first corner, I should say. So, and Radion kept it going. Through Radion. That will get him into second place if he can maintain this. Second place, big time. That is a big time improvement. So that first part of that track, sector 1, is huge for him. Huge. I don't know if I can do compare times here on him and Merche. Yes, I can. Just so you can see what's going. How's he doing? Oh, he lost it all somewhere. I wasn't watching. He lost it somewhere. So that gets him off the camera now. Let's go to Krister. Krister's got a nice lap going. 8th place. 6/10 up. That'll jump him quite a bit. He'd jump into 4th or between 5th and 6th or 4th and 5th possibly. If he can maintain it. Where is he? About halfway through. And Jeremy is putting in a half decent lap. Not going to improve him very much. He's quite far behind. 4 seconds behind. He's in the 4:25s. Everybody has got a valid lap in. No, I don't think Laszlo or Randy's got a valid lap in. Let's just watch Krister. Krister's still up a little bit. Where is he in his lap? He's got quite a ways to go yet. Fagnes. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. That's probably a Belgian word. I have French on my campus. I have French in my background, which is close to Belgium, I think. Stavlat. Krister's still maintaining that. Oh, he just lost a 10th. I'm sure he'll get it back. Jeremy's got a half decent lap going compared to his previous one. How about our leaders there? Bird's just maintaining his time. Krister just lost all his time, so we're going to jump over to Steve. Steve Young, Sky 194. He is just starting his lap. Although he got another good start again for that first sector. Let's see how he does through the converse. So it's La Source. Eau Rouge is the nasty part. Radion is the next one. So that's 3 names for that kind of a long uphill chicane that's famous in the auto sports world. But look at that. Steve lost a bit of his time, all of his time actually, coming through the famous complex. So everybody is kind of maintaining their positions right now. Let me see if we've got anything. Hi, Ollie. Good morning. Good morning. I know it's very morning for you. Hope you've had your coffee. You were a little bit cranky last week, if I remember. Just joking. And there's a Mr. Peter on there. I'm not sure who Peter is. Who are we watching? Steve. Steve lost a little bit coming through that corner. Spa should be a lot of fun with Porsche Cup, shouldn't it? Looking forward to this. So nobody's really improving on their times. How much quali? We only got a minute left in quali. Some guys are in the pits giving up, probably. He's maintaining their current times. Hope they're not tired because it's going to be a long race if they're tired now. It looks like Laszlo from my tower there. Looks like Laszlo and Randy have not put it in valid laps yet. Laszlo's got red on his gap time, so that might indicate that he is. Oh, I'm missing something here. Look at it, it's what's happening. Mr. Moses is got a flying lap going. Where is he in the lap? He's not that far off the tail end of the lap. He's up 0.6. That is going to get him podium. Are we going to get another Moses last qualification lap podium again? This has happened a number of times, not only in Porsche Cup, but in GT3. He just figures things out in his 15 minutes of quali, or he's just sandbagging everybody. Here he comes through the last chicane. He is going to get podium. What a move. Oh, wait. Just lost it on that last little corner. Just didn't get the traction. Merche maintains podium. What a fantastic finish there. Fantastic finish. And Steve Young's got a lap going. He's just starting again. Let's see if he can maintain it through the Radion complex. Because he didn't last time. He looks like he did. He had his half second going in, and he kept it going. Lost a tenth there. What is that going to do for him? That, if he can maintain that 4/10, he'll jump onto the podium and knock Derek Bird down off the podium. Never cranky. No, Ollie, you're not cranky. Derek Bird's got a good lap going also. Where is he in his lap? He is about the same spot. Wants to follow Steve, I think, is a little bit further along. Derek is number 701. No, Derek's first. So let's hold on with Derek. Let's go on with Derek. Looks like Steve Young made a mistake somewhere. Lost his 0.2 of a second. Merche is still out there. I thought he was on his last lap, but I guess not. He's improving on his best lap. Moses doesn't seem... Oh, Derek's given up. Moses is down from his best lap. Doesn't look like he's going to improve. Unless he can pull a rabbit right out of a hat here. Derek went into the pits. Sylvain needs quite a bit to jump into 4th place. So it looks like we've got our starting grid here. So I'm going to just call it there now. Merche Panoff in first, just barely. Chris Moses next, Derek Bird third, Steve Young fourth. There we go. So that is our all our top 5 are in the top 5 of the qualification also. So that's going to be very interesting. So let's go back here and I'll just review. Looks like Chris there is practicing his pit stops. Excuse me. So these guys are all done. Let me go into intro here. You can look at my beautiful face while I do a couple of little things on the timing tower to get different times up there. So we're going to show, what are we going to show here? We're going to show race gaps in the second side. And maybe for the beginning, we will show Nation. How's that sound? Yeah, that looks like a good idea. Oh, I didn't do the transition. You have not seen my beautiful face yet. There we go. Now you're seeing hello, 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 hello. I've got a little screen on, so you shouldn't be hearing pops out of my voice this week. Yeah, Mersch is definitely on a hot streak. He is got this cup car figured out. Haha, Ollie, 2 smokes and 2 coffees. Well, you have the luxury of going for a pit stop. I don't on race days. I stay away from coffee a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to go back to show the standings again just for fun. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's not what I wanted to show. Oh, look at that. Predetermined podium. See, and everybody thinks eSeniors is fixed. That was last week's podium. There we go. So the standings again. Merche's got a little bit of a lead. Really close, however. All top three guys are quite close, even fourth. Sylvain's a little farther behind. So, like I said earlier, Derek and Chris Moses swapped positions last week. Looks like Chris, look at that. Derek's in second place, even though he doesn't have a win yet. He's had three second places. It's like being, that is like being a bridesmaid, isn't it? All right, I'm going to get set up here for the session. I may even try a podium walk during that lap, but I do have to do a lot of setting up here. You can watch me freak out a little bit while I'm doing all that stuff. Just put on the music again so you're listening to me humming. If you don't know, that introductory music is from some music that Jeremy put out. Maybe we'll get him to change it and put a different sound out for us. And am I ready for? No, not quite ready for the grid walk just yet. There we go. Let's see, grid walk. Now I'm ready for the grid walk, but really don't have. What's going on here? Sorry for not talking too much. I'm concentrating at the same time here. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. All right, I'll be ready when they start to move. I hope. Yes, they are starting to move. Okay, now I'm ready too then. All right, let's just go over here. Now we are ready for a grid walk and seeing their wonderful, let's see what the best TV cam is. That is our first place, Mircea Panov. Next, we'll just wait till he gets into view here and we can see his livery. Next is Chris Moses. There he is, tail end of him. In third place, Derek Bird with the Woody Woodpecker, I believe that is there is his beautiful livery. Yes, sir. Woody Woodpecker with flames all over the place. Next is the wonderful Steve Young, YouTube superstar in that green Sky 194 car with the 194 number. Next is Sylvain Dessard, another famous streamer from Belgium, I believe. And he has got that nice red and yellow livery. Leader, I'm not sure what leader is all about. Maybe that's that is a something from his home country. Next is Christer Hjort, the indubitable commentator for GT3 from eSeniors in his new livery from H&M. Let's see, get it again. There it is, H&M, because his brother-in-law works for that company. Maybe Christer's getting some money on the side because of that. Next is Patrick Larson in the classic Porsche livery that comes with the game. Next is Thomas Rainier, and as I've said many times before, my favorite livery. Let's get a good close look at it here. There it is, the Martini livery. We've got lots of time left so I can keep yapping away here at liveries. Next we have the wonderful and grand poobah of eSeniors, Jeremy Arrobas in that black and yellow. Again, the classic Porsche livery. Next, we have the wonderful, the amazing Canadian from Edmonton, Alberta, Joe Bikavek in that livery, which it's got a kind of a side-by-side color going, black and matte army green or something like that. There we go. Next is Mr. Bob Laycock from looks like Australia or New Zealand. Sorry, I don't recognize flags that well. I know it's one of the two, and I know if I get it wrong, I'll be in deep trouble. There it is. I like that livery. Look at that. It's got like a little feather. That means, oh, that's the All Black symbol, I believe. So definitely, yes, sir. All Blacks, definite need New Zealand. Joe Bikavik would be impressed with that. He is a big, rugby fan. Next is Laszlo Nemeth from, I'm gonna guess France. Or no, what am I looking at? Netherlands, France. Not even close. The Bleu Blanc Rouge is in the wrong order. And last but not least, Randy Zimmer. I believe he's in a orange. Yes, he is. Orange Porsche Cup. All right, we're getting close to the start here, so I'll get away from this. Get away from the grid walk. And we'll get on board with Merche. And we're going to have to pick. We're going to pick Helicam. We'll see what Helicam looks like for the start. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Bob is from New Zealand. Yes, I did correct myself after I saw the All Blacks livery, that's for sure. Let's get out of the grid walk, close. We should just be here with, I'm on board with Chris Moses for now. But let's just see what the different views look like. Let's hope everybody gets a great start here. No, you know what? I think I'm going to go with some TV cams because that's better for us going through up the hill. Maybe on the start. Let's try just for the start. We'll hit the Helicam to see who gets what start. So Merche in the red car, Moses in the orange car, Bird and Steve Young, blue and then green. So let's see how those top four do on the start. Because it starts very important getting into the going up the hill. That is make sure everything is good volume-wise. Yep, here we go. Green light, green light. We're racing. Everybody looks like they're maintaining their position. Looks like there's a couple of Bird and Young are going side by side through the complex. And let's just see how they do. Looks like Moses maintained his position. I think everybody is going to be okay. There's a little bit of a bump here, I think, between Thomas and Krister. And they're going in hot. That is Thomas and Krister. Pretty hot. Let's keep up with these guys. Let's go back to the front. Everybody's got a nice gap at the front. And Jeremy and Krister and Thomas are at it. Krister and Jeremy were pretty much involved last week. Battle of the Administrators. Be careful, Jeremy, because Krister is our main steward. Get his pen out and just wipe out a whole bunch of your points. Okay, let's go back to the front. These guys are still there. That's okay. Let's go back to Jeremy and Krister. And Thomas is right behind Krister. Tires are not quite up to pressure, I would imagine, right now. Haven't seen anybody do too much wiggling on throttle, so they're being very careful with their throttles for the first couple of laps. Very good start. Yeah, Ollie, that is a very good start. You're right. These guys are really close together. Thomas is going to make a move here. Let's go to Helicam. He's got the inside track on Krister. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. Going through Blanchimont. So there's our first position change. Here's something I can throw up there. Let's see what how we fared for our position change. I'm going to put race gaps there, and I'm going to put position delta right there. So that is our changes in position. So yeah, we did see. Oh, Steve Young. We missed Steve Young passing Bird somewhere. Sorry about that. Oh, what am I saying? It shows. Oh, I guess they were in the opposite order when on the start, because I don't think I think that happened quite early. Who else? Jeremy is up a couple. Krister was the one that lost the most on the start, so he's going to have to try and make up that change. All right, so Merche is opened up a little bit of a gap. Steve Young though is right behind Chris. And Derek Bird's up far behind. So these guys are going to be battling it out the whole time. Oh, Krister had a problem. Oh, there's our first casualty. Let's go back 10 seconds. Ooh, not far enough. Krister just going into the chicane, just overcooked it probably. We are in replay mode there. Sorry about that. There we go. I didn't hit the button. Oh, who have we got close together? Well, Derek and Steve Young are pretty close together. And Thomas is now only got to contend with Jeremy. So yes, Krister was our first casualty, although I don't think he hit anything. He just had to wait for everybody to go by so he could have a good rejoin. Let's go into the cockpit for the first time. Let's get rid of names here, if I can. Need to see names. You got me to tell you what the names are. I'll get rid of the names. What else can I look at here? So yeah, this is definitely the closest battle. You can see that by the red marks on the gaps. Just have to watch for incidents now, I think. All right, the guy opened up a little bit of a gap there. Well, let's just follow this one through the last corner. La Source. Turn 1 is La Source. Just see how Thomas does going through the hair-raising complex, going up the hill, the famous corner, one of the most famous corners in autosport racing. Did a good job, stayed in track limits. He's gaining on Jeremy. He's going to have enough to go through here. Let's go Helicam. He's going to take a peek on the inside. Yes, see, it's going to make it stick. I'm glad we followed all that. Very nicely done, Thomas. Jeremy, I think, lifted a little bit there. Not sure if he thinks Thomas is got more pace than he has. Jeremy's very respectful of people racing. Geez, Krister having trouble again. Looks like a little bit of a yellow flag there on him. And let's just jump up ahead to Steve. All right, what I'm going to do here is actually do one of my famous cockpit views. This is Chris Moses. We'll just go down and see what people are looking at in terms of the gap. So this is what Chris Moses seen. First is Merche up there. This is second place, and that's how much he sees. Steve Young is hot. Well, look at that. He pushed that corner. Had to save it a little bit there. He's saving it again. Looks like he's having a little bit of an issues there, or is he just on the edge coming around those corners? Lots of steering wheel action there. Who next is Derek Bird. So these four guys are all in striking distance. As you know, pit stops were open. So we got a long way to go yet, but pit window is open. But these four guys, it's going to be a race. Oh, Steve went a little wide there. Steve seems to be having a bit of an issue. Farther behind, quite a bit further behind, is Sylvain. He must have had an issue there because he was way up there in the standings. Next is Patrick Larson. He can see Steve, but he's off quite a bit in the distance, 3 or 4 seconds off ahead of him. Thomas Rainier has opened up quite a bit of gap on Jeremy. So I guess Jeremy knows there was a bit of a difference. And either that or Jeremy had a bit of an issue, because Laszlo's has caught up with him. Laszlo's having a good race. He's up 3 positions from his start position. Next is Joe Bukavik. He's still in touch with the guys ahead of him. Randy Zimmer, he is a few seconds behind Joe. There's Bob Laycock looking at Zimmer. And there is Christer Hjort. So these 3 are actually pretty close together. So anyway, let me go back up to Derek Bird and Steve Young. They're the ones that are in the close competition right now. I don't like that view. Let's look at this view. I'm going to put the pit stops up so you guys can follow along with who's got a pit stop and who doesn't. There we go. Right there. So there's the pit stops. Of course, nobody's done it yet. So way too early for that kind of stuff. So Merche has opened up a little bit of a lead here. A couple of seconds, isn't he? Yeah, I agree, Ollie. Steve Young certainly looks like he has a bit of a back end loose. Maybe doesn't have a lot of. Oh, looks like we've got a problem with Laszlo. Let me do a 30-second replay here. So that we're on board with Laszlo. Something happened. There was a yellow flag. He was trying to pass Joe, I believe. Here it comes. Joe's still ahead of him. Don't know if there was contact or not. Yeah, a little bit of a contact. Joe went wide, but Laszlo lost it on the inside. All right, that is what happened there. Okay, we're back live. I'm glad we caught that with the corner of my eye. So Derek is right up on Steve now. Oh, Steve, look at that. See, Steve back end flew out there, and now Derek's going to have something here. Derek should have some momentum going in here. Up through Eau Rouge, Radion. Is he going to have, let's go in his cockpit, see if he is going to make some, ooh, where are we? Sorry, with Derek here. Doesn't look like he's going to make it up. Well, Laszlo went into the pits. He's hit that wall pretty hard. So it doesn't look like Derek was able to take advantage of Steve. And I'm going to, Ollie, I think you're right. Steve is really working his steering wheel hard. Let's see how it looks right here. That's a nice smooth one. But let's see how he looks on exit. I don't know if he's running less wing than everybody else. Right here. No, that's pretty smooth. Let me go with Derek here. All right, so Merche still 2 seconds up. Steve on Moses, and Young is a second and a half behind Steve Young. And this is the battle for fourth. Derek Bird just loves the Cup car racing. So long time Cup car racer in the eSeniors. And I see Peter the Wolfman Oschleiner is on board with us. Thank God he's not in this classification, because he is a tough driver. You watch him on GT3 tomorrow. Spa with 30 plus cars on the track. If you have not watched that race, you have got to get on board with us. That is fun to watch. GT3 cars just fly through Eau Rouge complex, and you're on the edge of your seat, literally in the car. Fun to watch. Christer is making his way back through the pack. He is up on Mr. Laycock now. Christer fresh off his personal best, so he is feeling super confident. Just watch him for a few minutes or a few seconds. Go through the chicane, on the throttle as fast as you can. He's a little late on the throttle there, I thought. Let's just watch him through, going up the hill. See if he makes up some time. See, Chris Bird is still hanging in there with Young, and Young is still hanging in there with Moses. Merche's pulled off another second on his away from the guys. It's up to 3 seconds now. It's going to be some interesting pit stops, I think. See how Christer does coming through here. Eau Rouge Radion. Oh yeah, he's got lots here. He's got lots here. He's going to, I think he's going to make a move. Coming into the next chicane. Very close to being... He's got the outside line. Looks like... who is that ahead of him? Is that Joe Bukavik ahead of him? No. No, it was Bob Laycock. So it looks like Bob lifted on him there. Let him by. Probably saw that he was coming up pretty hot. Now Joe is... Let's go in the cockpit to see what he's looking at. Joe's creeping up on Jeremy here. Let's do a little comparison between Joe and Jeremy. Last lap, if I can see. Joe had a 2:25.5, if I can read that correctly, and Jeremy was 2:26, so he gained a second on his last lap there. So we'll have to watch that little battle. What's going on up ahead here? Everybody's still fairly far apart. Let's go back and watch our leaders. Oh, Steve's actually got pretty close to Chris now. Only a second behind. Tires are going to start to be an issue, I think. Let's watch these three guys go through the exciting La Source Radion complex. And Eau Rouge was the first one. I like the sound of you're on this TV mode. Makes you feel like you're there with the Doppler effect. Haven't said that word in a long time. Doppler effect. Oh, looks like Steve had a little bit of a wiggle there, and Derek's right up on him now. It's like he can taste it. He can taste it. He knows. He knows Steve's having a little bit of an issue. Let's just go to Steve's rear wing here for a second or two. As we noted, Steve was working really hard on his steering input, so went a little wide there. You can hear his tires squawking. We are at the 17 minutes into the race. We've got quite a bit of ways yet before pit stops. What else is happening here? Joe is pretty close to Jeremy. I'll keep watching that gap. But let's go back to Steve and Chris. Chris is biding his time, I think. What do you guys think on the stream? Biding his time because he's seeing the struggles that Steve Young is having. Oh, we've got Larson is off. Let's just go and take a look at what happened there. Larson was by himself. Is he going to be a victim of throttle? What's the right word? Throttle nervousness. Since he's by himself. Coming out of here. Oop, oop, oop. Let's go to Hellcamp. That's where he went off. And then he took a bump coming back and spun himself around. So that's what happened. Just went a little wide there. And then coming back, hit the curb, unsettled his back end. We are back live with Derek Bird. I'm glad we are. Look at this. Look at this. Coming through our favorite corners. They both went wide. I don't know if there was a track cut there from Steve Young. It was pretty far off. Is Derek catching up with him or not? I don't know if he's going to have enough. Going into Lacombe. No, he's not going to give that a try just yet. Our top five are still within striking distance. Anybody makes a mistake, and we all know it's pretty hard to make a mistake. Pretty easy to make a mistake with the Porsche Cup, so they're all fairly close together. It's not going to take much to tighten things up there. Throttle abuse. Throttle abuse. That's what Ollie tells me that is. Throttle abuse. A little anxious on the throttle coming out of a corner is the issue. I don't know if I'd call that abuse, but let's just try to do some time comparisons here. There's a time comparison between these guys. You can look at the sectors. Looks like Bird's got a better middle sector and a slightly better third sector. Hey, what are we looking at for times here? Let's do it while we're on that topic. Let's look at best times here. Well, Merche, who now has a 3.8 second lead, he has got the fastest lap at 2:21.6. That is a great time. Nobody else is in the 2:21s. Who has got the best second here? Chris Moses at 2:22.0, almost flat 2:22. Next would be Derek Bird, 2:22.36. And next would be Steve Young with 2:22.45, followed by fifth place, Sylvain Dessart at 2:22. So all our top 5 guys. Oh, looks like Derek 2 went by while I was watching. I'm going to go back and look at that. Just see how that happened here. I wasn't watching. Let's just see Derek coming up. He's quite a ways back there. Let's jump over to Sylvain. See what happened coming through here. He just lost his back end. Yeah, lost his back. He's having trouble with his back end, isn't he? Let's just. It didn't come out quite right, but I'll just say back end of his car. And let's just wait until it's live. Now we're back live. So, a little change of position. Look at that. Our top 4 guys are now in their starting or qualifying positions. And we're getting some pit stops here. Patrick Larson and Sylvain Dessart pitted early. He is the first guy in the top 5 to pit. Be interesting to see how that all turns out. I'm going to do my usual, let's see what, before pit stops, we are in our quali position with Merche, Chris, Derek, and Steve. So that is our position pre-pit stops. And let's see who pits next in the top 5. I don't think Sylvain was in the top 5 before I noticed him pitting. He was up there. Yeah, he probably was 5th, wasn't he? All right, who are we following here? Bird and Steve Young. So who else is close here? Joe is still harassing Jeremy. Joe hasn't had much time. Joe and I, as you know, are good friends. So Joe hasn't had much time in the rig this summer. He's been traveling a lot. He's recently retired last couple of years, so he's still in that mode of, oh, I got to get out traveling instead of settling down and just racing with us. So yeah, he's getting up there close to Joe, Mr. Jeremy. Oh, but our leader has pitted. He was up by 3 seconds plus. So there we go. Merche was first to pit. Now let's see what our other guys are going to do. We'll just watch that. Where are these guys right now? Oh, Derek Bird had a little something happen there. Uh-oh. We're in replay mode. Let's just see what happened to Derek. This would be very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Here we go in replay mode with Derek, on board with Derek. Going through the first corner. He has Steve on his tail. Oh, just missed his braking point. What happened here? Did he? Yeah, he just missed. That looks like technical difficulties to me. He's in the pits. That looks like he had an equipment problem. I would suspect that is what happened because he just missed his braking point. So Bird, bad luck on Bird's part. Again, this is not the first time he's had some bad luck in these races. All right, so has Merche left the pits? Yes, he is. He is in. No, he's still in the pits. Is Merche still in the pits? Oh, yeah, it's a very long pit stop. Remember, I will put up. What will I put up here? I will put up the pit stop times here on our stop times on our tower for you to follow along and analyze. I'll make that the difference in our position here. Just there we go. That should be what you see in the second column. Should be the time stopped. It can be stop time, but it'll be the time they're in the pits, I think. So Merche was at 1:07. Like Sylvain Dessars 1:11. That's a big difference. 4 seconds. I am wondering, what do they call this here? They call this the last stop length. So we'll see what the difference in that. I'm not sure if that's a particularly accurate statistic. No car audio. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? It should be car audio. It's low. Okay, well, I'll pull it up if you want. Here we go. That should be a little louder on the car side. Who's saying there's no car? That's Aaron. All right, what am I looking at? What are we looking at here? Moses is in the pits. So we've had Merche has pitted. Sylvain has pitted. And Derek Burr has had problems. He's in the pits. He's not out yet. I'm hoping he gets to come out. If he doesn't come out, there was definitely problems with his equipment. Chris Moses has not pitted, but that is common for Chris. He stays out quite late, usually. What do we got for gaps here? Well, Steve is way ahead. So the timing tower is going to be a bit funny for a while. Okay, Chris Moses is now in the pits. So let's just see. He was in second place pre-pit stops. So he's actually stopped at this point. So let's see where he comes out. That would be, here we go. Well, maybe we'll stay on board with Merche until I see Chris moving. Looks like Chris is now moving, am I not mistaken? There's Chris. There's Chris. There goes Merche right by him. So yeah, there's going to be a significant gap still there. Let's go into its cockpit. I'm hoping you can hear. Okay, so Aaron says that's better in terms of the race north. So there's the gap that we're looking at. That is gap for probably first and second. Merche has got a 5-second lead now. Virtue of a very quick pit stop. He lost 107 seconds probably compared to Chris Moses' 110, but 110 seconds. Next best pit stop time in second place for pit stop was Patrick Larson. Looks like it's 109. So I don't know how Merche got 107 there. That's a huge difference. Jeremy just went into the pits. So the last person, Derek Bird, is still in the pits. That had to be an equipment problem for him, huh? So that's unfortunate because Derek is in second place in the standings. That's going to hurt him quite a bit. Okay, Steve Young now and Thomas Rainier are both in the pits. So that's going to be our top guys have all going to be pitted once they come out. Joe Bakavic's in the pits. Jeremy looks like he might be moving now. He was just ahead or behind ahead of Joe Bakavic. And Joe, what is Joe? I don't see Joe. Is Joe disconnected? No, he's still out there. He hasn't pitted yet. Oh, so he's trying the overcut there. We'll see where he comes out compared to Pekavic. Okay, right now, so Steve Young, is he moving yet? Not yet. Thomas Rainier is in the pits. He is moving. And we got Thomas? No, that's Bob Laycock, sorry. Here's Thomas just coming out. And let's see here, the Merche and Moses should be coming out. Oh, sorry. Steve Young is just pitted. That's Steve Young moving ahead there now. Let's see where he comes out compared to Merche and Moses. There is Moses just ahead of him. If that gap is correct, he's 6 seconds behind. And now, I believe, Steve Thomas, not out yet. All right, so there's our top 3 there at the moment. After pit stops, Chris Moses. Merche Panoff, followed by Chris Moses, followed by Steve Young and Sylvain Dessard. So they're in the same order that they went in, except for Bird, who has retired probably. So it was Merche, Chris, and Steve. That's the way they went in pre pit stops, but I think there was some big gaps produced by the pit stops. Have Frank pit stop strategies and changes in the pit stops. Oh, there's Derek. Derek saying his pit stops just. So what happened, Derek? Wheelbase shut down. Yeah, okay. I thought it was an issue. Let's not mention the manufacturer. All right, so a couple of guys still haven't pitted. We got a lot of. Now we got our cars are quite far apart. Although here, who am I on board with here? Randy Zimmer hasn't pitted yet. I think he's waiting for or Laycock, I should say. Where is Mr. Laycock? No, he's just pitted, so he was just behind Randy. So he is just in the pits. Okay, so Merche now has got clear sailing in front of him, and Chris Moses is now right there. He's got Randy Zimmer ahead of him. So Chris Moses is 7 seconds behind our leader, Merche. And there's Steve Young. You can barely see Moses up in the foreground. And Sylvain Dessard is in 5th place, following the rest of the pit stops. It's quite a bit further back too. So we got a big, some big gaps here for the second half of the race. So looks like it's going to be a race of making sure you don't make a mistake to maintain your position. Derek has told us on the stream that or in the chat that he has a Fanatic DD1. You ever had problems with it before, Derek? I have never had problems with mine shutting down. All right, looks like Bob Laycock is now in the pits, but Randy is still out there. Let's just see where Randy is, because these two guys were fairly close together. Where is he in his lap? He's got quite a ways to go yet. He's got Steve Young right behind him. I would imagine that Randy, we've got only 18 minutes left in the race. I would imagine Randy is going to be going into the pits this lap. Issue there. He's going to lift off and let Steve go by, and I believe, let's just watch Randy go into the pits here. Very short pit lane entry here. If the guy ahead of you, following a guy ahead of you quite closely, and you want to take the same pit stop, Let's just watch what happens. No, Randy's staying out. He's got a ton of fuel, I guess. But you just noticed the pit stop entry. If you're following a guy really closely and you want to pit at the same time as he, cool, and you don't have a lot of time to make a decision there. So everybody online here on the chat line, we got 14 watching today. Nice job, guys. Everybody hit a like. It goes on to the eSeniors stream now. I'm not doing it on my own stream. How you doing, Frank? How's the recovery for the hip going? I'm trying to think if I've seen you on the... Hey, Nikos. Welcome. You joined where most of the action is gone here. We've got quite a bit of gaps between everybody. So you're going to have to... Whoa! Who are we with here? We're watching Randy Zimmer. Sorry about that, Randy. That's announcer's curse there. Now you're going to have to... Where is he in his lap? He's only a third in. He's going to have some damage. Let's see if his wheel is going to stay straight for him. So it was a pretty big impact. It doesn't look like it affected his steering wheel. It affected his suspension quite a bit. He's going to have some hard times there. Well, we don't want to watch Randy have his travails here. Let's just go in TV mode. Yeah, so hope you're doing well, Frank. What shall we do? What shall we do? Well, we've got our track gaps. This is not going to be the most exciting race. Nobody's that close to each other. Maybe we'll do some, how about we do this? We do following a lap for each of the first 5 guys. Just see how they do their laps through Spa in the Porsche Cup car. And he goes over the start-finish line. Let's just watch. Let's watch everybody go through up the hill. That's something fun. Here we go. Goes quite wide on the entry, but he stayed in there with all that. Let's just watch Chris Moses go through now. Wow, he goes a little bit wide entering radio, but nicely done. Steve Young coming up. Oh, Steve Young just followed him, and then Derek Sylvain. He's quite far back. We'll have to wait for him to get there. There you go. Oh, looks like Randy Zimmer. Oh, Zimmer's coming out of the pits. Okay. So Randy and Patrick Larson were quite close together. Oh yeah, but Randy had that spin out, so we won't be close together anymore. There we go. Watching Sylvain go through all that. Who's next? Thomas. There's Thomas. Just missed him coming out. Patrick Larson. Let's watch Patrick go through. Nice entry. Goes a little wide through Radion. I'm not sure how wide you have to go. Guys on the stream, how wide do you have to go there to get a track cut? That could be something on this track now. We haven't had any track cut penalties. I think you have to, through Radion, if you come out faster than you went in, if I'm not mistaken, you might get a track cut. Because that last Patrick, we watched him there, he was quite far over. We missed Jeremy and Krister. Jeremy and Krister are not that far apart, are they? Yeah, they're quite far apart. Missed them going through the exciting... Well, Bob. There's Bob coming through. Wow. If this happens to us again, which it probably will at some point, I'm going to practice with the cameras. You can actually make a fixed camera spot by using the free cam option in ACC, and you can I could fix the camera right on the side of the track. And you can watch guys go by, zoom, zoom, zoom. Just as if you were trackside. but that may take some. Work on my part. Chris Moses put in a great time. There's 22 flat. I believe the best. Why is it best? I thought Merche had a time of 21 something, 21.7, and now it's showing 22.14. That could be the system here in ACC TV changes the best time after a pit stop. Laszlo, what's happening there? Laszlo just get passed by somebody? Saw a flash there. I'm not sure if he went off for a second. What else can we do, guys? A little bit of a, not boring is not the right word, but not very many battles going on the track right now, is there? How are we doing in terms of people's usual positions? Well, Krister, right in the middle of the pack, which is where he usually qualifies, but often he has some trouble on race day with spinouts and whatnot, so he's having a good finish. 7th. He had a spin out already, but worked his way up through the leaderboard, and he's ahead of his buddy Jeremy. They were pretty close together. I think Jeremy was ahead of him, or he was Jeremy was ahead of him. Joe Bukavik, who hasn't, like I said, hasn't practiced too much, having a decent day in 9th place. Look at lap times here for those guys. Joe's best lap time is 2:27.9, whereas Bob Laycock, who is at the moment 13 seconds behind, his best time's a second and a half better, so that might be something to watch. Laszlo had a great best time of 25.6 or 25.9. He is 11 seconds behind Bob Laycock, so he might bridge that gap a little. Let's watch to see if anybody is going to be able to do any laps. So I'm not watching who I'm showing who I'm watching. Let's give Thomas a little bit of airtime there. See Joe and Jeremy. Last lap times. Maybe I'll put up last lap times here first. I don't need that one anymore. Pit stop length. Who had the pit stop award today? Well, look at that. Merche at 107.5 and Steve Young 107.3. So those are two fast and quite far the fastest times up there. Quite a difference between all the stop times, isn't there? What was I looking for? I was looking for last lap. Maybe I'll put that as a time up there. Current lap, that doesn't help very much, is it? No, I don't like that one. Didn't have a last lap option there. That's kind of interesting. Too bad. Sorry I'm not talking, but I'm just reading here. I guess I can't read and talk at the same time. I'm just trying to decide what to put up there as a second statistic. Let's put our deltas, I guess. God, you guys are still watching? How much time have we got left? 8 minutes to go. Take a look at those deltas from the pit, from the deltas from qualification. Well, look at that. The only guy who really made a big dent in his qualifications. Well, actually, all those plus ones are due to Derek bowing out. So all those plus ones are really maintain their position. So the guy, let's talk driver of the day here. Even though the top 5 are pretty good drives on their part. Merche's just pulling away with an 8-second lead there, but Thomas is come up 3 spots from, and really the only other change is Krister, really. Lost a couple of spots. He had a great qualification, but yeah, Thomas, you've picked it up big time. Everybody's 10 seconds apart. Yeah, I'm not having, just making up time here. Peter's giving me some sympathy for not having much action to show. That's okay. The drivers, you got to know the drivers are just trying to hope that they don't make any mistakes right now. Who haven't I shown? I haven't shown Jeremy that much. Let's just show Jeremy for a while. Yeah, Spa certainly is a long track. I don't have my statistics on Spa to see how long a track that is. So what about driver of the day, guys? Shall we stick with some of the top 5 guys, or give it to Thomas, who's got a great 3 positions from his start? He was in 8th place, and he's now in 5th. In terms of, I'm not sure where he is in the standings. What is this going to do to the standings now? Derek is going to have, we're actually going to flip again probably. Chris Moses and Derek will probably flip positions again. Not sure if this start is going to affect Derek down to 3rd place. This finish by Derek is actually going to get wiped out because his last his dropped finish was 4th, so that 4th will jump back in here. So that may not actually change much. I think, as a matter of fact, well, he's not going to get very many points. But anyway, yeah, no, I think that'll change. It'll be back into the flip-flop we had between Derek and Chris Moses. Will probably come back to Chris being in 2nd. Oh, what else can we talk about, guys? We are going to have another, not sure when.
The window is now closed.
Pit window's closed, 5 minutes left in the race. We're going to have another rain race. Not sure what we decided on, whether it's going to be full rain or not, but we got only 2 more races left, so it actually might be the last race. Let me take a peek here. If I can find a race. Where that's going to be for that damp race. Looking on Discord here to try to find out. It is weekly track conditions. Oh, I can't even read it right now. I'm not going to bother, but I'm pretty sure we are going to have a damp race before we're done here. All right, we've given Jeremy some time. How about Joe McCavick? I don't know if we've given him any airtime. Our front runners always get enough airtime. I don't think we're going to have a full rain, Frank. I think it's going to be a little bit wetter than the last time. Maybe a light rain. But I know you love rain races, don't you? Monsoon at Suzuka, yeah. That's another suggestion. Well, everybody will have to put in some practice time for that race. That's for sure. I can take a peek for sure at what our weekly races with next two tracks are going to be. Let's see here. Race schedule. Okay, so we're at Spa. Next one is Suzuka. And last but not least, as usual, Mount Panorama. Mount Panorama with 30 cars. I'm looking forward to it big time. Oh boy. I love Mount Panorama. Going down that hill. Wish I lived on that spot. I'm mentioning, of course, that is a regular track. Let's just go through the guys here. Watch Merche. That is a residential neighborhood when it's not racing. And you like to drive down that hill every day and go vroom vroom in your head. Now we'll jump to Chris. Got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. I'm gonna have to do my podium here. Hang on. Where is it? Well, last week's podium was Merche, Derek Bird, and Steve Young. Now we're only going to be finishing with, unless something happens here, with Merche, Chris Moses, and Steve Young. So remember last week.
Leader is on final lap now.
Leader is on the final lap here. Let's hold on here. We can get this done. Guys, I can't type for sure. I can't type and talk at the same time. There we go. It's done. And I'll get ready to bring these guys in. Hopefully, we'll get the right volumes up. All right, so let's go on with Merche. There is his final lap, followed by Chris Moses. We have nobody close together here, so we don't have to worry too much about changes. Here's our Steve Young. I'm going to hit the different camera for the better one. That's a beautiful view of Sky 194. Let's go back to Merche here. There's Merche. He's got the classic Porsche livery. Where is he? He's coming up close. There's Chris Moses, same livery, different color. Steve Young. I like this view actually, isn't it? Nice. And Sylvain Dessard. Thomas Rainier. Patrick Larson. Got matte color. Krister coming through. Krister's got a few scrapes and bruises on his car. There's Jeremy. Coming around the corner. Look at a good view coming around the corner right here. There it is. There's Joe McCavick. Bob Laycock. Again. Randy Zimmer. Laszlo. And Derek Bird is in a bit. So let's go back here. And there it comes. Merche is going to be crossing the start-finish line with the checkered flag right here. There it goes there. There we go. What a go, Merche. Good job. Chris Moses coming through. And there he is. And we're going to get a flash from him. No, we're not. Steve Young. I'm sure we're going to get a flash or a wiggle from him. Here we are. No flash. And Sylvain Dessard. A little bit of a wiggle there. Let's be our last guy. Oh, he's got quite a ways to go. So that is our podium, guys. All right, so let me get going here on the intro screens. And hopefully we will get an interview going here. Who have we got? We have nobody just yet. on the stream. I'm going to turn the volume down on this game. So I don't think we need to hear that going on in the background. I'm not sure I can actually mute it. So it's just me. So yes, sir, here we go. Our leaders, our winners, I should say. Merche, Chris Moses, and Steve Young. Let's see if we can get anybody. Nobody is on the Discord. So we might not have an interview. They're all too tired, I guess. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks, Olaf. Thanks, Ollie, for the compliments. Yeah, I enjoyed doing these streams. Looking for some fun tomorrow. The action tomorrow at Spa with GT3. Let me wait for one. Oh, there's Merche. Merche, I'm going to pull you in. Hello, Merche. And there's Steve. Bringing you in. Hello, Steve. If we get Discord, are we getting any voices on Discord? Hello, can you guys hear me? Oh. You guys can't hear me on Discord because I'm not hitting the button. Can you say hello and say make sure I got some volume for you guys? You hear me? I'm not sure I'm getting you, unfortunately. Let me hit that. Try again. Say hello. Barely. How's that? Can anybody hear that?
I can hear fine.
Oh, there you go. No, I can. Okay, they're hearing it in the stream now. So let me see if no, that's it. So Merche and Steve, yeah, it was a interesting race for the first half, but then there's big gaps after that. Tell us about your races. Merche first.
For me, great race.
Comfortable?
I hit it, yes. From the first lap, I have luck that I escaped Moses, and before the pit stop, he was, I think, 2.5 seconds.
Yes, he was, yeah.
Tricky. Yes, and after pit stop, I don't know why he was behind.
Well, I had the stop times on the screen from the system, and it looks like you had like a 3-second gain on him in the pits. Stop times. That's where you got some of that time. And Steve, you had a pretty fast pit stop also. I think you were 107 seconds from entry to exit, I think is the way the system does it. How was your race today?
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just too bad about Derek, because I think him and I would have had a really good battle probably through the race, as long as we both had good pit stops, because it seemed like him and I were close to the same pace. But I saw he hit the grass going into turn one.
He had a malfunction. The steering wheel just died. That's what happened.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Maybe that's why he went in the grass. But
yeah. Looked like he missed his braking point, but no, his wheel died right there. So he had to
shoot.
Yeah,
that's too bad, because I think we would have been really good. But yeah, just congrats to Punov and Chris. I mean, they both did great pace, and they both really had it covered. I tried to keep up with Chris, made a couple mistakes, and just that's all it takes, then you're gone.
Yeah, once you get into one of these races like this with the Porsche Cup, it's a matter of just maintaining your concentration for the tail end of it, eh?
Yep. Yeah, they had it on everybody, and that's they just did a great job, and especially the consistency part. I mean, anybody can get really one good killer lap, but I mean they were doing consistent is really tough. And I think they both were just awesome. I mean, they both did a great job doing, not just being fast, but being consistent.
Yeah, we don't have Chris with us today, but we were in his cockpit for all. I don't know if he had less wing on the back, but he was working hard the whole race around the corner. He was just seesawing his steering wheel.
I was with maximum wing.
Yeah, he had maximum wing. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah, you too. Okay.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. He almost pulled off. A podium there for the qualification. He had a great last lap, as he usually does. I don't know what he does he must have 2 or 3 settings for his qualification laps, because he's always last lap. He's always pulled something out of a hat.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, guys.
About lost in the Rouge the last lap. I was just trying to push to see what the car would do, and I just about threw it away.
Oh no!
But luckily I saved it. But I was kind of laughing because I just about threw it in the wall.
Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing. I'm very sorry for Derek.
Yeah.
He should won yesterday race, and he made mistake in Orush. It is very difficult with Ferrari. Now I hear that he had malfunction with his wheel. so he have bad luck on Spa. I hope he will have more luck tomorrow.
Well, I'm looking at the standings here. Let's see what he had. That race, this race will be knocked out for him, so that it'll be his. He's got a fourth. So they probably will, Chris and Derek will probably flip flop in the standings again, but he won't be too far back standing wise at least, because that'll be knocked out that race. Okay, well, thanks for the interview, guys, and thanks for the race. It was it's fun as usual with Spa. And the
thank you to eSeniors.
in your heart, Eau Rouge,
Right.
or heart in your mouth, Eau Rouge, for 15 laps or 20 laps.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun tomorrow. Yeah. All right, guys, signing off now.
Thank you. Bye.
And then we'll see you with Christer Hort tomorrow, guys, on the GT3 at Spa for the championship of eSeniors. Should be a fun race to watch. 35. I bet you there'll be about 35 cars on the grid. That's always exciting. So signing off for another week. We'll see you next week for Suzuka with the Porsche Cup.